On today's Toy Box Tuesday, we're going to take a final look at the long overdue Build-A-Figure piece, Titus. So yeah guys, it's been a very long awaited wait, but I finally completed Titus from this aforementioned Titus series of Marvel Legends. And I must say, he is a very well worth wait and find for this figure, because he is actually phenomenal when built. As you can see though, he's a very, before you guys ask, he's a very obscure character in the Marvel Universe. I believe he's more associated with the Nova, I think new Nova comics. I could be wrong, but I think he's one of the newer villains in that series, but could be wrong. But this guy just looks phenomenally, looks very cool, I must say. But yeah, let's actually get into the review, because I'm just a loss for words how cool this guy looks. And I can't really think of what else to say, because I'm actually excited to finally get this figure complete. Anyways, guys, let's just start out with, standard looks on this figure. I just love how this figure is just a mix between some kind of cybernetic tiger thing. I just think he just looks very cool. As you can see, he's a very well built Build-A-Figure. He's very big, as most Marvel Legends Build-A-Figures should be. I noticed lately they've been putting out like sort of, smaller stature, bigger Build-A-Figures like Mantis. I think that's just a waste. But this is a well-built looking figure, I must say. He's a little dusty because I've been having him for a while there, but overall, I just love how stocky this guy is. As you can see, as I point out in numerous times in this video, he's very well painted, as you can see. I just love the paint apps on this guy. The gold matches well with the sort of bluish black it kind of looks like on camera. Kind of a nice shade of black and gold. And the silver on his robotic arm looks very cool too. It's very I'm kind of wondering if Hasbro did a re-sculpt of the Cable arm or some kind of Winter Soldier arm, because this looks very familiar for those two, and they just added like another piece, sculpted a bazooka cannon on the piece there. And I must say the piece of the bazooka cannon looks phenomenally well colored and detailed. I just like the whole rusty look to it, like it's been used in battle for numerous times. And as you can see, very nice and bulky. And the other nice added detail too, if you guys can see, I'll just zoom in for you guys. He has this sort of cable thing going on there to attach the bazooka cannon to the arm there. And you can kind of get nice rivets there too as well. Very nice. And also you get a piston piece there, so it's very cool little touches like that I like. The other thing too is the head sculpt. I absolutely love this head sculpt piece on this figure. I'll just zoom in for you guys. Just look at that. That is just awesome. I love it. Nice little visor there. I just love how the head sculpt looks on that piece. Like I said, I pointed this out before, but the paint apps on the head sculpt is just very well cleaned and detailed. Very nice detailed on the eye there. Looks phenomenally well painted too, I might add. Just awesome. I love this Build-A-Figure piece. And his teeth too. Look how gnarly his teeth are. I love how Hasbro touched up his teeth, making them gnarly. The only thing I would have liked too is, well, he kind of has a mouth articulation, kind of closes, but it would have been nice if they had a hinge. If you could probably heat this bottom jaw up and probably hold it in place to get it kind of, closed if you want, but it would have been cool to add a little bit of articulation in the mouth area. But other than that, I can't complain with the mouth or head sculpt of this figure because it looks phenomenal. Now, with that being said, having a nice detailed look at the figure, you're probably wondering how does the figure pose on the articulation side. So let's take a look on that, shall we? So first point of articulation he has is a bit of a foot pivot back and forth in the articulation area there. He does have a swivel in the foot area, but it's very tight, so I don't want to risk it breaking this figure, so I'll probably leave that. I probably just built up glue. He does have a bend in the knee area. It's very tight, which is, you know, it's alright, but it's kind of, don't want to break his leg there. But it's a nice tight piece on the articulation at the knee. It has a slight swivel in the calf area. It bends all the way out in the calf and bends out. It does have a swivel joint. It's on a ratchet, looks like, around the waistline. And as I said before, he has an ab crunch area. He does have articulation in the shoulder area. He can go out and in, but unfortunately with how he's built in the top torso, he's kind of limited in that area. He does have a swivel in the arm region, and he also bends at the elbow in the arm ever so slightly, and he does have a bit of rotation in the wrist, and he also has a bit of articulation in the hand ever so slightly. And I forgot to point this out too, he has nice black claws as well. Very nice. And also, I should probably point this out too, he does have a full rotation in the head, so you can do a lot of poses, but how his fur is sculpted can only go so far. So he does have nice articulation in the head, and also he has articulation, same articulation in the right arm, but it's hindered slightly, as I said. And the only difference here is he has his bazooka cannon, which can go out and in. His bazooka cannon's not articulated, he can't go all the way around, which is unfortunate, but oh well. Can have decent poses for him there. So yeah, pretty cool indeed. Love this figure. So we'll just set him aside and we'll just do a final review analysis for you guys to see what I think of this figure. So that being said, guys, what would I rate this figure on a 10 scale? Honestly, having gushed about this Build-A-Figure long enough in the review, I'm easily giving him a 10 out of 10. I just like how this figure is built. There is nice paint on this figure, very nicely cleaned on this figure. I just like how this figure looks overall. I love how Hasbro went with a very obscure character in the Marvel Universe and giving him a well-deserved Build-A-Figure piece, which honestly, I'm glad that they went with a bulkier character than, let's say, a skinnier type of character like they did with the Mantis line or any other sort of, you know, Marvel Legends line. But this is a well worth series of Build-A-Figures, and I highly recommend, well, picking up this guy. Whether you can find him in online in a whole piece without having to buy the other figures if you want to save money, or if you want to collect all the figures in this wave, I would highly recommend picking all the rest of the figures in the wave and to build this one mighty, beautiful piece of Titus here. Now, that's just my final review of this figure, but also we're going to take a bit of a brief ranking of how I like these figures of the series, which ranging from best to worst, etc. I'm just going to pick 3 which I think are the best. I don't have them right here right now because of the fact there's limited space on this desk, and plus Titus here is pretty bulky, so it wouldn't be able to fit in this video, in this screenshot here. But anyways, this is my top favorite figures in this line. Number 3, I would have to put number 3 with Darkhawk. I think Darkhawk is an amazing figure, definitely one of my favorites in this Build-A-Figure series line. I just liked how that figure looked and how comic accurate it looked and how well painted and sculpted that piece was, and just looked very awesome. Number 2, I would honestly have to say, would be Nova, the Kid Nova version. At first I didn't thought I would like that figure, but I liked how it looked very anime inspired and just well-rounded painted figure. I liked how it looked and how clean it looked, and just overall a really cool piece. I like the head sculpt on that piece, and just looked like a very cool looking figure. And the final figure that's my absolutely favorite in this Titus series line, you just took a look at him pretty much last week ago, quite a while ago, but it's honestly Yondu. I just loved how Yondu looked. I think it's definitely one of the best figures in this series. If you just want to pick up one figure, definitely go with the Yondu figure, because I think that's probably the sellout figure in this series. I just love that figure. Now, there's also 2 figures that I think are kind of mediocre-ish, or not really the worst scale, but, you know, kind of like in the solid line. Not bad, but didn't really care too much about it. But the 2 figures that I'm referring to is, of course, Star-Lord. Unfortunately, Star-Lord would have to be at the bottom of the list. As much as I liked how that figure looked, I'm just disappointed how he couldn't hold his 2 iconic movie pistols in his hands. I just thought that was disappointing, and the main reason why he's on my bottom of the list, or mediocre list, in this series. And also the number 1 sort of take it or leave it figure is, of course, Angela. As much as I love that figure, I just think that she could have been done a little better. As much as I liked her, I think the sculpting could have been better in the waistline, and the hair could have been a little better, and just a few little details there could have been refined to make that figure, you know, stand out a little more. But as it stands, that's probably one of the more mediocre figures. And also, if I had to throw one out there, I think Vance Astro and Drax would probably be on that list as well. As much as I like Drax, I would have liked to seen a secondary head sculpt rather than having him in the full screaming pose. And Vance Astro, as nicely painted as he is, I had a problem with his head sculpt. I thought it could have been a little better on the head sculpt there. But that is just my final thoughts on the wave, and from my most favorite to my least favorite in this wave. So if in case you're wondering what did I rank these figures on, there you go. So that is it for today's Toy Box Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, comment down below and subscribe if you want more content from me on this channel for more, well, Marvel Legends reviews or any more toy reviews every Tuesday. I also do movie reviews on the side, which will be forthcoming in the future. Gonna get back into the Universal Monster reviews shortly, but overall, hope you enjoyed this video. Now, if you guys want to subscribe and be notified on my channel, just hit that bell icon as well. I forgot to mention that. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, for Morgan Entertainment, stay entertained.